So when it comes to the legalities of the cannabis oil being used for medical purposes, often in courtrooms evidence is required, but often it's anecdotal. How does that come about in your work you've seen?
What we're being told over and over is that there's no evidence of medical cannabis being effective. Now, for instance, we've treated a dozen kids with intractable epilepsy. In August in Melbourne, there's a conference on intractable epilepsy, and I wrote a summary of the work we've been doing and expected to be invited to present it. When I hadn't heard or got my invitation, I spoke to the professor organising it, and she simply said, "We're not having you on because there's no evidence that it works." I said, "Excuse me, but this is the evidence." The point is, she said, "No, but that's only anecdotal." Now, the point I was making is if you go to a courtroom and you're sworn in to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, they accept from you only what you see with your own eyes. I've treated 12 patients and watched them get better, right? That's dismissed as anecdotal by the allopaths because there wasn't a placebo group in my trial.
So they had done a proper clinical trial.
No, the point is, look, we have to address this, what they call the double-blinded, placebo-controlled random crossover study. They call this the gold standard, but it's only a gold standard to compare brand A with brand B, to look for subtle differences in drugs of the same thing. When we're dealing with a situation where a kid either has 100 seizures or one, you don't need a placebo-controlled trial.
Because it's right there.
Because the parents know what the placebo is, right? It's a different type of inquiry.
So does this need to be introduced into our law system to be able to notice that there's a difference between this? As you say, you've seen, you've witnessed with your own very eyes, as the parents have, this huge transformation. Therefore, how does that get changed?
My attitude is that cannabis must have its existence as a herbal medicine, not as an allopathic medicine. Right? I mean, GW has certainly made cannabis into an allopathic medicine, but it's not ideal. It's expensive, the delivery system is cumbersome and has its own problems, and it's simply not accessible to the masses of people.
And as you said, part of it's twisted left and not right.
Oh, that's different. That's Marinol, which is, to give it their credit, GW Pharmaceuticals went to Holland and got hot-growing scientists to grow their cannabis, and they use a whole plant extract. They've even coined a new phrase called botanical plant substance now for whole extracts.
Okay. I know this might be really difficult, but in one sentence, one paragraph, or a simplified term, how do you feel that cannabis is beneficial to us as humans and the planet?
The medical, culinary and industrial uses of cannabis could be the engine for a renewal on the planet Earth. There's no doubt about that. We can transit from the hydrocarbon nightmare that is becoming 21st century Earth to a green wonderland where people live in fulfilling and interesting and exciting lives. Yeah, I think it's pivotal, it's key. Its destruction, the destruction of the hemp industries, set the stage for the petrochemical nightmare we're now living in, and it can also be the passage out.
So as an understatement, it would be a good thing?
I would struggle to find one negative, except to the bottom line of the pharmaceutical companies and agro industries generally.
It heals the body, it heals the mind,
Yeah,
it heals the spirit, it heals the planet.